So, ER, I want to ask you a question since I've known you for 20 years almost.
Okay.
You and me both share a love for immersive experiences.
Right.
And by definition, this means we like to submerge and lose ourselves in particular contexts. And by definition, to lose oneself is to enter a state of ecstasis. Ecstasis, the etymology of the word ecstasis means to go beyond oneself, to be beside oneself. And this, was also sort of reformulated in the words of Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia said, to get really high is to forget yourself, but to forget yourself is to see everything else. So, nothing is lost, only a lot is gained. This experience is where we find relief from the burden of selfhood, the terrible tyrant, the overactive ego. Is therapeutic. So explain to me whether it's the skydiver or the elite sports athlete or the adrenaline junkie or the movie buff that we find such relief from losing ourselves. In other words, like you even say when you go snowboarding and you get like super high and you're snowboarding on the mountain and you're in the moment and beauty of nature is racing past your face. Like why is that so therapeutic? Why is that so cleansing? Why is losing ourselves so detoxifying? Why?
Wow. I mean, you have to become one with something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So in the snowboard, you become one with the mountain. The guy become one with the wave. You have to become one with something.
Okay.
And to achieve that, you really have to forget yourself. That's what you need to do. Really
Yarushkili right now hitting the nail on the head. He just listened to my rhapsodizing on why it feels so good to lose ourselves, yet why we resist it, right? We cling to ourselves. We're terrified of surrendering. None of us is really volunteering when it comes to letting go. We're kicking and screaming into these blissful mind, body states beyond the self. And we know that all the good shit happens when we lose ourselves because when we lose ourselves, we become one with everything. Terence McKenna said, you become what you behold. Absolute unmixed attention is a form of prayer. William James said your experience is what you attend to. But here's the thing. You can't attend to anything out there if you're busy attending to yourself. This is when the self and neurosis becomes oppressive. The burdens of being, right? The burdens of mortality, the tyranny of time, the responsibility, survival of the fittest, the Darwinian imposition upon our freedom to survive. But when we go beyond the self, during these recreational states, during these spiritual states, during these contemplative states, that freedom from self, that relief from self, vastly transforms how we see ourselves and frame ourselves. During these moments, said Tim Doody, we recontextualize the self as a marvelous conduit in a timeless whole from which molecules and meanings flow from neurons to nebula and back again. So some people lose themselves and have cosmic moments. Other people lose themselves and become one with the wave. People call this nirvana. The jazz musicians lose themselves and rhapsodize through a tumbling thicket of melodies and free associational meanderings with their jazz form, and we marvel. We gasp in astonishment. Sometimes we actually witness slices and splices of divinity. Human beings attain things when they're not there to conspire against themselves. Why is it that when we lose ourselves, not only do we become one with everything, not only do we have cosmic moments, not only do we have realizations, but performance also sometimes goes up. I'm more clever when I let go. My work is better. My connection with you is deeper. My empathy is brighter. Why?
Because I truly believe that to become one with something, you have to not think about the next move.
Okay.
You said jazz.
Yeah.
He doesn't think. He doesn't read from the book of notes,
Yeah.
and he see already what's going to be the next note, so he's thinking about it.
So what are you
He
saying?
improvise.
He improvised, but you think that improvisation is tapping to an inner
It's
knowing?
because you not think about the next move. It just flows.
And
And
that,
this is when you
but
become
is
one.
that flow metaphysical? When you are one with everything, and performance goes up, and you lose your sense of self, and you're free from the tyranny of time, and you have a lateral thinking increase, so you see more patterns, you get more information, your brain is flooded with dopamine, and you get out of your own way. I mean, it's like the movie Black Swan when the choreographer tells Natalie Portman the only thing standing in your way is you. You know?
Right.
Which is not to say that contemplative or that practice and discipline and control don't have their place, right? The white swan is precision, is discipline, is practice, it's commitment. That's the white swan. But then the black swan surrenders, the black swan lets go, the black swan forgets herself, surprises herself, experiences transcendence of herself. And so, yeah, we need both. But we can't have one without the other, because if we do, if we're all control, clinging to ourselves desperately, then we're trapped in a prison of our own making. But if we let go of the reins completely and are completely undisciplined in our freedom and our meanderings, well, then we'll get torn apart by the sea of chaos. We won't be cresting that wave. We'll be wipe outing and maybe not even being able to come up for air. So balance. I think for me, for example, I'm hypervigilant, I'm highly controlling and neurotic, and I struggle more with learning to let go and learning to surrender. This has been a challenge for me, as you know.
I know. It's harder for you to let go.
Yeah. But I'm getting better.
You really need to have the precise environment. And it is important because for you it's sacred. That's what makes the difference between you and other people. That for you, you made it a sacred moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like somebody that only gets naked with their intimate partner. It's a little bit like that. Like me letting go, me shutting off my monkey mind is like having really intimate sex with my girlfriend. It's like saying, only with her do you get to see me naked. Do you get to see me when I'm not there? Wow. Anyway, so cultivate a practice of letting go, but also cultivate discipline. Cultivate both muscles, you know? Surrender, let go, but then fetch water and chop wood. Do the work. Let us know what you think in the comments below.